So I just got the Apple Watch Ultra 3 and I'm gonna compare the Milanese band to the Apple Watch Series 10/11. I purchased the Apple Watch Series 10 a week before you could pre-order these. So I was able to return the Series 10 and I pre-ordered this one instead, and I just picked it up. So I'm gonna compare the Milanese band, but I'm also just gonna show you the color. I chose black instead of silver. Because I thought it would look nicer on my skin tone, and the silver one looked a bit more flashy. So the Milanese band on this one, this is my first time trying a titanium band. So compare this one to the Series 10, the Milanese band, the stainless steel Milanese band on the Series 10/11 was very comfortable. Right out of the box, it felt comfortable. It was easy to set up. I could easily micro adjust how snug I wanted the watch, or if I wanted to loosen it. It was very simple. You know, it's a magnetic band. If you've been looking at Apple Watches, the Apple Watch 10 or the 11, it's just a magnetic clip. So if I needed it really snug, I just, pull it up, and then I could feel that the watch was super secure. Over time though, the Milanese band on the Apple Watch Series 10/11 did loosen up, and I would feel it loosen up, and it was fine. I didn't mind it. The watch felt light and it didn't move too much, but I did notice that the Series 10 would little by little kind of move over up from my wrist. Like, I like it more lower, more at the edge of the wrist or the bottom of the wrist here. So over time the 10 would move up, but it was again easy to just undo it and then just snug up the watch. So the stainless steel band, it never made my hand sweaty. My wrist sweaty. It never made any imprints on my wrist. And it was just so comfortable. But it loosened up quite a lot. So I can only imagine if I owned the watch longer, maybe the magnet would weaken, or maybe the magnet would get dirty, and maybe it wouldn't get secure. One thing I didn't like too much about the Milanese band on the Apple Watch 10 was that when I put the magnet back on, sometimes it would be off center, so the loop would kind of like not center nicely on the band, unless I adjusted it. But sometimes I put it on quick, not think about it, and then it looked a little bit off. It's not a big deal, but this is a much cleaner look, I think. But it's not as easy to adjust this on the fly on the Apple Watch Ultra 3. One thing I liked about the Milanese band on the Series 10 is that whenever I wanted to turn on the flashlight on the Series 10, and then I like moving the watch. One second. I like having the flashlight over here on this side of my wrist, because it feels more like a real flashlight. Like, if you're holding a flashlight, usually you want to shine it like this. If you're holding the flashlight here, I'll pretend my finger is a flashlight. So you just light it, you show it like that. So kind of what I liked about the Apple Watch 10, I could just quickly change the orientation of the watch and then clip it back on and just do what I needed to do. Whereas this is not as easy. I have to leave I'm not sure how to even, how do you, like, I don't know. I guess I could always take it off and then just use it, I guess, as a flashlight. I don't know. So this band is not as it's not as quick to adjust. Oops. So I mean, that's not a deal breaker. It was nice to have on the Apple Watch 10. But again, on the Apple Watch 10, the Milanese band would loosen up over time, and then I'd have to tighten it again. And again, that's not a big deal. Why? So yeah, see, it's okay. It's not, this band isn't perfect. But I do like that it's not as warm as like the Velcro band, like the trail loop, whatever you call them. The other bands, I like this. I like the more metal stuff. I just feel like I can wash it. It won't stink, and it feels cooler on my wrist. Like it's cold. I mean, this band, if I keep it snug like this, I think my wrist will sweat over time, and it will leave an imprint on my wrist, and it irritates just a slight bit. So to adjust it, I can just pop this latch open and then just do what I gotta do. So now it's a little looser. But when I work, I work assembling bicycles, so I have to use my hands a lot, and I have to move my hands. I take out bolts and I put grease, then I shake bottles of sealant so I can make tubeless tires. So I have to throw away the trash, get the cardboard, so I can feel this thing rattling around on my wrist. Again, I can just snug it up. I guess I can keep it snug, and once my wrist starts to feel a little sweaty and starts to irritate a bit, I can loosen it up. Like I said, the Series 10, the Milanese band is just so quick and easy to adjust. Whenever I needed to move my wrist fast, I could just whoop, snug it up, put the magnet, and it felt good. It felt very secure. But again, it would loosen over time. But at that point, I don't need it as snug as I had it. Just because I had to do a bunch of things and I didn't want the watch flailing around. So that was nice in the Series 10. So it's a little hard to make it snug while it's on my wrist. Like I could pull it up a bit, and then that's about as much as I can probably keep it tight. Oh, actually, you know what? I just realized I can loosen this and then turn this so I can use it as a flashlight, and then just snug it up a little bit, and then just use it as a flashlight, and then I can just turn it back like that, and it's a little loose like this. But I mean, I would mainly use the flashlight for looking for things in the dark, so I don't need it snug, but maybe I can try to make it a little more tighter than what it is now. I don't know if I'm wearing if the orientation of the loop is correct. Maybe it's supposed to be the latch is supposed to come this way. Pull it down. Maybe I'll try it. So yeah, that's the band on the Apple Watch Ultra 3. I did like the trail loop or the trail wristband that they offer, the Velcro one. That one felt pretty nice. But one thing I didn't like about using something like that was, if it gets wet, if it gets sweaty, if I use the urinal, sometimes I get some backsplash when I pee, TMI, right? But it's just for me, I didn't want something like if I try to wash it, the band will probably stay wet until I dry it. I guess it can own multiple bands, but I just wanted one watch. I didn't want to have too many things. So this band, I can wash it, right? This is the titanium. It says it's good for ocean diving or whatever, swimming in the ocean. So it's perfect, and so I can wash it, and I know it's clean. So that's it. I just talked about the band, and I showed this off. Here's the color. And I wish I had the Apple Watch 10 so I could show you, really compare it, but I don't. Let me know if you think I should just grab an Apple Watch 10 so I can show you, Then I'll probably return it.